China's 620 miles per hour maglev train, the future on rails. Imagine a train that doesn't just compete with airplanes, it outruns them. That isn't science fiction anymore. In a technological leap that has left the world awestruck, China has unveiled a maglev train capable of reaching a staggering speed of 620 miles per hour, 1,000 kilometers per hour, faster than many commercial planes. What started as a bold dream has now become a groundbreaking reality, a symbol of national pride, and perhaps the beginning of a new era in global transportation. The birth of a dream. Years ago, China's trains were respected for their reliability and scale, but nobody expected them to dominate the race for speed. However, when Chinese engineers and the government dared to envision the world's fastest train, something even faster than a jetliner, most scoffed. But with unwavering determination and bold investment, China embarked on a long journey of innovation, experimentation, and engineering mastery. The goal: a maglev train that defied not only traditional design, but also the very limits of what was considered possible on land. What makes it so fast? The secret lies in its core technology, magnetic levitation, or maglev. Unlike conventional trains that rely on wheels and rails, maglev trains use powerful magnetic forces to hover a few centimeters above the track. When there's no friction, speed is limited only by air resistance and engineering tolerances. Magnets embedded in both the train and the guideway generate lift and propulsion simultaneously. The result? A whisper-quiet, vibration-free ride that literally glides through the air. And how fast are we talking about? At 620 miles per hour, this train surpasses the average cruising speed of most airplanes, which typically ranges between 850 to 950 kilometers per hour. While air travel faces drag from high-altitude wind turbulence and weather conditions, this maglev train maintains close contact with the ground and slices through the air with a streamlined, aerodynamic design that minimizes resistance. That's why, despite traveling at jet speeds, the ride is remarkably smooth. Inside the beast, comfort at the speed of wind. Speed doesn't mean sacrificing comfort. Step inside China's maglev marvel, and you are welcomed by interiors that rival luxury airlines and high-end hotels. Spacious aisles, panoramic windows made from advanced anti-flicker glass, and plush seats with full recline, multimedia touch panels, USB charging ports, and ambient lighting. Everything is designed to turn the ride into a serene, almost surreal experience. Passengers report feeling as if they are gliding in a silent cocoon rather than hurtling forward at breakneck velocity. Onboard amenities include high-speed Wi-Fi, cafes offering gourmet food, pristine lavatories, and noise levels so low that even a whisper feels loud. It's not just travel. It's an experience that redefines motion itself. Challenges that shaped a masterpiece. But reaching this point was anything but easy. Engineers were confronted with immense challenges, from developing magnets powerful enough to levitate a train weighing tons to stabilizing the vehicle at extreme speeds. One of the biggest threats was vibration. At high speeds, even the smallest imbalance could lead to derailment. Chinese scientists spent years refining the train's aerodynamic shell, shock-absorbing components, and real-time balance control systems to ensure stability. Another monumental hurdle was heat dissipation. Traveling at 1,000 kilometers per hour generates frictionless movement, but not heatless motion. Internal systems had to be developed to manage electromagnetic heat and preserve the superconducting magnets under precise temperature control. Moreover, building the track infrastructure, ultra-straight, precisely leveled, and resilient to seismic shifts, required some of the most advanced civil engineering in history. Environmental and global impact. What's more impressive is the eco-friendly nature of maglev systems. Unlike airplanes and diesel-powered trains, the maglev train emits no exhaust gases, making it one of the cleanest high-speed travel methods available. With the world focusing on carbon neutrality, China's maglev breakthrough aligns perfectly with future green transport goals. Now imagine this technology being exported globally. As more countries invest in ultra-high-speed rail, short-haul flights could become obsolete. Cities separated by hundreds of kilometers could effectively merge economically and culturally as travel times shrink to a matter of minutes. The message to the world. With this invention, China isn't just showcasing technological prowess, it's sending a bold message. The future isn't flying above us, it's gliding right past us on the ground. This train represents more than a marvel of physics and engineering. It is a metaphor for vision, tenacity, and national ambition. A once-dismissed fantasy has turned into the world's fastest reality. In a world racing toward innovation, China's 620 miles per hour maglev train is a reminder that the boldest ideas, no matter how impossible they may seem, can change the very way we move, live, and think. The relentless pursuit of perfection, overcoming engineering obstacles. At the heart of China's maglev revolution lies a story not just of innovation, but of relentless iteration, failure, and unwavering human resolve. The journey to creating a train that could glide at 620 miles per hour wasn't just a technical leap. It was a series of grueling, often demoralizing challenges. Every stage of development felt like walking on a razor's edge. Initially, the electromagnets that levitated the train, essential to its ability to float and move frictionlessly, faced a near-fatal flaw. As the train's speed increased, the magnets would heat up dangerously, sometimes to the point of failure. Imagine testing your dream project only to watch it crash again and again, because the very force that lifts the train turns into its enemy. But instead of abandoning the mission, the team doubled down. They researched deeper and unearthed the power of superconducting magnets, powerful, stable, and most importantly, resistant to overheating. This wasn't just a component swap. It was a pivot in the physics of the system itself. Then came the track, the unsung hero in high-speed transport. No matter how advanced the train was, a single imperfection in the track could turn speed into catastrophe. So the engineers approached the rail with surgical precision. They examined every inch of the micro-level, sometimes tearing up newly laid tracks to start from scratch. This level of commitment meant cost overruns, delays, and intense political scrutiny. But it also ensured that the maglev system could achieve an unprecedented level of safety and reliability at breakneck speed. Even the air itself posed a problem. At such extreme velocities, pressure builds up dramatically, affecting passengers' comfort and potentially their health. Engineers had to redesign the entire shape of the train to counter this aerodynamic pressure and create an interior environment with finely regulated pressure zones, so riders wouldn't feel their ears pop or their breathing tighten. Every curve of the train became a solution, form engineered entirely for function. But perhaps the hardest challenge was not technical. It was psychological. Convincing government officials to spend billions on a technology that failed tests repeatedly took grit and persuasion. Each failure risked public ridicule and internal doubt. But every time the train sputtered, veered, or stalled, Chinese engineers treated it as a learning opportunity. They didn't just fix the problems. They adapted the system, sometimes radically, learning not just how to build a train, but how to build trust in the future. Global ripple effects, a wake-up call to the world. When China's maglev train finally roared into successful tests, the world watched in awe and anxiety. For the first time, a nation had proven that trains could challenge airplanes not just in speed but in elegance, environmental safety, and operational efficiency. This wasn't just a transport upgrade. It was a geopolitical statement. Japan, long considered the pioneer in high-speed rail with its Shinkansen, suddenly found itself outpaced. The very nation that had defined bullet trains was now forced to accelerate development on its own maglev program, aiming to reclaim its title by pushing beyond 600 kilometers per hour. For Japanese engineers, this wasn't just R&D, it was national pride. In the United States, where high-speed rail had long remained a political talking point rather than a technological priority, the success of China's maglev reignited interest. States like Texas and California began investing in feasibility studies and international collaborations, some even working with Chinese firms, to develop their own corridors of high-speed rail. It marked the start of an American reckoning. In a country dominated by cars and planes, could the train make a comeback? In Europe, nations like France, Germany, and Italy, already proud of their high-speed trains like the TGV and ICE, began internal debates. Was it enough to be fast, or was it time to be futuristic? Maglev was no longer a fantasy but a metric of national ambition. Research centers across Europe were suddenly alive with projects exploring superconducting technology, magnetic field optimization, and modular track systems. Why maglev isn't just fast, it's the future. The appeal of maglev trains goes far beyond their ability to break speed records. They are redefining how humans might move in a world that demands sustainability, speed, and stress-free travel. Unlike airplanes, maglev trains run entirely on electricity, and in many areas, green electricity. They emit no carbon, no smoke, and no noise pollution beyond a low whir. They are also economically transformative. Once built, their operating costs are low compared to traditional aircraft, especially on medium-range routes. No more long queues, no security checks, no waiting for boarding calls. Passengers simply walk in, sit back, and fly over the earth without leaving the ground. And the experience. For most first-time passengers, it feels like entering the future. Acceleration is so smooth. Many people don't realize they've hit full speed until the scenery begins blurring like a movie time-lapse. Inside, the seats are plush, the ride is silent, and the pressure remains stable. Some travelers report anxiety at first. After all, nothing this fast should feel this calm. But that nervousness quickly melts into awe. A technological arms race begins. China may have won the first lap, but the race is far from over. Countries across the globe are ramping up their own maglev and Hyperloop initiatives. Japan's Chuo Shinkansen is pushing limits, while Germany's Transrapid legacy is being re-evaluated for a comeback. In the Middle East, there are plans to connect future smart cities with high-speed systems that leapfrog traditional rail entirely. Each new project builds not just faster trains, but more political will, more public interest, and more investment in infrastructure that can reshape nations. The question is no longer if the world will embrace maglev trains, but when and how fast. The verdict: what was once considered impossible is now gliding across tracks at 620 miles per hour. This train is more than steel and circuits. It's a declaration that human potential, backed by courage, perseverance, and vision, can truly make the impossible possible. And while China has claimed the spotlight for now, the ripple effects it has unleashed are pushing every nation forward. In the coming decades, expect the question to shift from "can we build this?" to "why didn't we build it sooner?" This is not just the story of a train. It is the story of humanity sprinting into its future faster than ever before.